This is the infamous Jigsaw Day-Date from Rolex. It made all kinds of headlines, rarely any good ones when it was released. And for this video, I am so excited to be able to show you this one. We're going to take a closer look at this extremely rare Rolex. I'll be answering the most frequently asked questions like, what is this? What the hell is going on here? And what were they thinking doing this? And many more. So let's get started. Right, before we go into detail here, we need to cover the hard facts to make sure that we don't get anything confused. The Jigsaw is, when looking at its silhouette and specs, a standard Rolex Day-Date with a diameter of 36mm, a lug-to-lug of 43mm, and a height of 12mm, excluding the Cyclops in a classic oyster case. The Jigsaw collection is available in three options. You've got the rose gold, a yellow gold, and a white gold version, whereas the rose gold is the only one with the orange backdrop instead of the sky blue, but I will get to that in a second. The bracelet is your classic president bracelet made from 18-karat solid gold with those three semicircular links, giving you that extra bit of sparkle with the middle link being polished. The clasp is a hidden folding clasp with just, the little Rolex crown serving as a clip for you to easily open up the clasp. Inside beats the 3255 in-house movement from Rolex, which was released in 2015. First in the Day-Date models, as those are the Rolex flagships, but the date and day wheel have been switched out with something entirely different on this one, but I'll get to that later. Overall, besides, the crazy dial, this is a very standard Day-Date in 36mm, very classic, with all the hallmarks of quality you would expect from a Day-Date. So when the Day-Date first was released in 1956, I'm sure no one at Rolex expected to ever bring out a watch that would look like this one, which launched 67 years later since the first ever Day-Date was out for purchase. And even in 2023, people were, if not shocked or majorly confused about the release. In hindsight, it seems that the Stellar Dial Revival Oyster Perpetuals were some kind of initiation into this new Rolex phase, but still, no one expected Rolex to lean so hard into this kitschy or campy genre of dial designs. But don't get me wrong, it's not like they have not released some very questionable dials before, but this one marked the first time that a Rolex felt like a commentary on pop culture and zeitgeist, so it deserves to be looked at closely, which we're going to do now. So like I've mentioned, the rose gold version is the only one with the orange backdrop instead of the sky blue. I'm not exactly sure why they made this one the exception, and not have a unique background color for each, gold alloy. But if you do, please let us know in the comments down below. The hour markers are all hand-selected and color-coordinated sapphires, and as you can see, they differ between the rose gold and the white gold / yellow gold versions of the watch. They're all baguette cut and very bright and clear, so you would technically still be able to tell the time with this watch. But that is pretty much it in terms of timekeeping with this Day-Date, because the former day and date display show something far from their initial purpose. But let's focus on the puzzle pieces for now. Rolex achieved those bright colors by using a technique called Champlevé enameling, entirely created by using this Champlevé enameling. Enameling describes the technique of using heat to fuse frit, which is powder glass, to the surface of some kind of metal object. In Champlevé enameling, a recess is etched or cast or carved into the body of that metal substrate to be filled with frit, so they had to individually fill up every puzzle piece, heat it up, and then do it over and over again to create this entire jigsaw motif. And according to Rolex, those puzzle pieces should represent those key moments in life which are completed by those 7 inspirational, and that's what Rolex calls them, not me, keywords where the day used to be. So we have the words happy, eternity, gratitude, peace, faith, love, and hope. Some could think that Rolex has different language versions of that particular Day-Date, as you can get your regular Day-Dates in many languages, but this one will only remain in English. And adding to that, we get 31 exclusive emojis where the date should be, which are a pretty fun mix of all kinds of emojis, like some more or less serious ones, and I think it's really hard to pick your favorite of the mix, but you can pause through this part right here and let me know which one of the emojis are your favorites. A really cool detail which I also like to point out is that the part of the dial in which the frit has been filled into is solid gold, which creates this very fine, shiny border around each puzzle piece. I think it's a very beautiful detail that elevates the kind of fun idea of the puzzle pieces to a more, let's say, elegant level to fit the Day-Date theme. You can also see that they have not filled out the entire dial with puzzle pieces, but left out the top right corner as to suggest that, I guess, hopefully you continue to live through more key moments in your life, guided by those keywords on top and supplemented by the emoji emojis at 3 o'clock. This will not be a Rolex video if there is no mention of the price and availability. Contrary to popular belief, most Rolex models are not rare. Quite the opposite, actually. Rolex and their ADs have just perfected the scarcity game, and if it does not sacrifice, a respectful customer experience, I'm all for games like that. I don't know, what can I say? I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. But this Rolex is actually quite rare, which is why I'm so excited to get my hands on so I can show it to you. I know that this one had a retail price of $59,700, which is rather tame in context to some of the rare day dates, but still a hefty price tag. But if you were looking to buy one on the secondary market, you're looking at a price range of about 180 to 200,000. I know the offers on Chrono are displayed a bit higher than that, but I know for a fact that they actually go for less since there's so few people even interested in those like very crazy looking pieces, and it is tough to find a buyer for them in the first place. And so here we have it, everything you need to know about one of the truly rare Rolex day dates, what the dial means, how it was made, and what one would have to pay for it. I mean, if you were to ask me, I would have to say that at first I was quite the opposite of a fan of this, though I, love the Stellar Dial OPs. I mean, I'm wearing one. The Jigsaw was a tad bit too much for me at the time, but seeing this one in person, and I gotta say, and this happens a lot with watches, I completely changed my mind. I mean, this is still a very kitschy watch, don't get me wrong, but now I kind of feel like I can fully appreciate its charm. It is a very unserious Rolex, and that has to be my favorite part about it. I mean, the color scheme aside, which isn't really my cup of tea, I'm happy to see that Rolex is not afraid to show its playful side with all those emojis. They took the president watch and gave it a true makeover without changing its essence. And at least for that, I have to respect that design choice. But now enough from me. What do you think about this watch? What were your thoughts when it was first released? And did they change in any way in the meantime? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And this is all I have for you guys for today. If you have enjoyed this review, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, I recommend subscribing to my channel. And then I will see you in my next video. Bye!